Ja, det kan du se herovre.
Ja, det kan vi få med.
It's on, I hope. It says we're live. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
It seems like we sorted it finally. I spent about 2.5 hours, and then all it took for me to get this live stream up and running was apparently just to reset the router to the internet. So
but it works now.
It works, yeah.
Welcome.
We hope. So if you could just please make a comment in the commentary if the audio is working and good, and also if what you see on your YouTube is if the image is sharp and is showing the flies correctly. I would just like to introduce Søren, which is he's a good friend of mine, and we've known each other for quite a long time. I think one of the first times I met you was when you held a course in how to tie a classic salmon fly.
Yeah.
And I was in 10th grade, and that was really an eye opener, and something that it took. I think we spent 7 hours tying that fly.
About that, yeah.
Yeah, and I still have that fly in a frame. So it was my first, but also my only classic salmon fly. But that was really cool.
And probably my most difficult.
Yeah.
Session
Okay.
ever.
Okay. Yeah. Imagine me at 17.
No, but you made a beautiful fly.
Yeah.
So
I was very
perfect.
happy with the result.
Yeah.
Anyways, today Søren works at Ahrex Hooks. And do a lot of developing and stuff, but you can say that for you can probably talk a bit more about that.
Yeah.
But today we're gonna tie 2 pike flies, and we're gonna take turns. So first up, Søren is gonna tie a fly he's gonna tell you a lot more about, and then later on I'm gonna tie a black one using the new Ahrex Pr378, right?
Yeah.
368.
78.
78. Oh, I'm sorry if I got that wrong. So today is all about pike, and well, basically, it would be nice if someone would comment out here in the. I'm just gonna ask out here. Could you could open the beer, Søren?
Yeah.
While I just check. So if you could please leave a comment about the audio and the visual, then that would be great. Well, we hope it's live at least. I'll just maybe I should take a look at how it is. It seems to be live. It is live. I'm pretty sure. Let me just have a look here. You can just pour some beer, Søren.
I have some beer then.
Boom. Let me just see. It says live right here. So let me just have a look. See if we can see ourselves. It is live. It is live.
You get the small.
Yeah, there's more in the bottle. I'll drink more when you're tying. Cheers. And cheers to all of you out there, and Merry Christmas. And I think basically I'll leave the camera for now for Søren, and he'll start tying the first one. So I'll just move out from here and leave you to it. Do you want this chair or that chair? Søren?
Yeah, I'll take this one.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
Yes. Welcome to this small fly tying session, and a little bit of explaining about the new hook we came up with a few weeks ago. I do a lot of pike fishing myself, as well as Daniel, and a lot of our friends out there, they do the same. So some years ago, we got a call from a US-based fly tyer, Gunnar Brammer, who's asking us to make some kind of predator-style hook. There was a lot of Texas predator hooks out on the market, but he wanted one with some very important details on. So he made some drawings at us. We had a look at them, and I made some drawings, sent it back to him, and he kind of like responded to them and slowly over the time, we kind of like came up with the ideal hook for upside down big musky pike and bass flies. So we have launched this GB Predator swimbait hook, which we call it. We launched it in 3 different sizes: 6.0, 4.0, and a 2.0. The hook I have here is a 4.0. That's quite a big hook.
You can just hold it up to the, yeah.
And then we have this one, a 6.0 hook, and that's a beast. The very special thing about this hook is, if you kind of like imagine the hook here, sorry, with an ordinary Texas.
More to the other, yeah, that way.
Yes, perfectly. An ordinary Texas hook, Texas Predator hook, is kind of like you have the hook point at the same line as the hook shank. So it's very difficult. I have one down here somewhere I can show you.
Everything is fine, everyone is saying. So, yeah.
A hook like this, where you got the angle and the line from the shank of the hook towards the point. So it's very difficult for a fish to be caught on this hook. When it actually attacks the hook, it's very difficult
to set the hook.
But this hook, you can cast it into weeds and branches and stuff like that, and it kind of like peels off very, very easily due to this point. But the good guys from both US and UK, they asked us to kind of like make this tip of the hook to be easy for the fish. So when the fish takes the hook, it kind of like gets there.
It still grabs it easier.
Yeah.
The hooking percentages is higher.
Yeah. So that's the basic idea of this hook, together with Gunnar Brammer and also a UK-based fly tire, a good friend of ours, Paul Monaghan. And the 2 guys, they've been discussing this hook for quite some time. So when we finally made the final connections of final movements and stuff like that on the hook, they kind of like said, yeah, this is perfect. It's absolutely perfect. And they're both very thrilled about the hook at the point. So we kind of like, we hit it this time.
Yeah, and both of them are very, very avid fishermen and very, very keen fly tires. And they have their own YouTube channel. And if you haven't done so, you should check them out.
Yeah.
Paul Monaghan and Gunnar Brammer is making some really, really awesome videos. So shout out to Gunnar and Paul.
Perfectly worked.
Yeah.
We're just the one making the hooks, but the idea came directly from those guys, and they're fantastic and have so many thoughts about this hook. Compared to the old or the ordinary Texas style hook, you kind of like have some strange angles here. You kind of like this set shape, where this is more straight lines, and it's made. The straight lines, the straight areas here is made for putting rattles on the fly. I had a rattle just earlier somewhere.
There is some on the table right there.
Oh, there's a small one here. Yes. I'll just take it there.
Do you want me to do?
So when you have a rattle like this, you can actually put it there. There's space for the rattle to be placed on the shank here. So you got a straight line for attaching this one. You also have a place down here where you can put it on, and you can even tie it in on top here or put it here. It's more difficult on the other hook because you can put it here, and down in the bottom of the hook, just to make it, put some weight.
And to make it fish upside down?
Yeah, to make it fish upside down. It's very difficult to tie it in here without it twisting around. On this hook, we have some straight areas where you can actually put it and place it exactly where you want to. So that's quite unique for this hook. But the 2 guys, they made some fantastic thoughts and some fantastic ideas about this hook, and we are very grateful for getting their knowledge and ideas for making this hook, and it's been a success so far, and you'll see it when I tie the fly. It's another way of thinking on these upside down flies. So I have a thought about making this.
Let's just see how that. I'm gonna readjust the camera so you can see.
Yeah, perfectly
like that.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite pike flies. It's kind of like the same style as Paul and Gunnar is tying. So a big fly, big fish. That's the idea about it. And I made it with a piece of wire on the shank, and I'll just explain all the thoughts about it. But you get quite a long fly in this way, but not a very heavy fly, so it's kind of, I can fish this one on a 8 weight rod.
Yeah, 7 even, I think.
Yeah, it's difficult, but you know, big flies, it must be difficult, but still pretty big fly on fairly lightweight fly gear. So that's the idea about it. But I'm gonna start tying this fly. So I'll take a hook, and for this one I'm gonna use a 4/0, like that. And the first thing I'm gonna tie on is my rattle. And as I spoke about before, I have some areas here to put the rattles on. For this one I'm gonna put it on the lowest part of the hook, which is...
So it's kind of like a keel, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's gonna make the fly fish upside down.
Absolutely, yes.
That's the idea.
And my rattle, once again, drop it there. So I'm gonna put some tying thread, just to make a base, down here. I'm gonna take this small rattle, put it here. Get some loose wraps, just secure it all the way down, a little bit tighter. And you can see I can actually secure it quite easily here, instead of on the other hook where it kind of like will be wobbling around. At this point it's almost secured. I'm gonna make a knot here. I'm gonna secure it with a fairly amount of super glue. So that's the first part about it. The reason why I cut off the thread making a knot is that if something happens to the fly while fishing for this one, if I hit a rock, something happens and this one will break the rattle, I can squeeze all the materials back and tie a new one in, instead of have to tie a whole new fly. This piece is replaceable. So that's one of the good things about it. So I'm gonna soak it in super glue, like this. Just let it
Maybe I should stop messing with this.
Just gonna leave it here and just make the super glue does it work. And it works. So, like that. Another thing about this this fly, to make it long, I'll attach a piece of titanium wire on this part and just let it go along here. You can see on this one I've attached it and it goes all the way down. I made a kind of a tail on this fly with some hackle tips, and I tied it on the titanium wire. The wire here is quite thin, so I took a bit thicker wire this time, but that's the idea about it. You can, again, if this one is smashed at some point, perhaps by a big pike, I can just tie a new one in. So instead of throwing the fly away, you can kind of like replace the parts on it. So I'll just leave this one dry up a little bit more, and I'll take some of my titanium wire. And this is some 55 pounds wire, quite heavy, but I like that. I'll double it instead of measuring it out with the hook. So kind of like
hold it a bit more for the camera, yeah. A bit further down. Just think of, yeah, exactly. But maybe think of it as the same spot as where the fly would be.
Yeah. I'm just trying to imagine how long it should be. It's something like there, yeah. So I have a piece of titanium wire here. I'll double it. I'll just give it a slight squeeze. I know the guys like Gunnar and Paul, they do the same trick, and they often use thick monofilament. I've seen Gunnar using some shanks. That's also a way of doing it. I just like to make it this way. It gives a very lightweight fly, and that's my purpose on it. To make the fly as easy as living as possible. I often fish very shallow water, so I don't want to put too much extra weight on the fly. So I took the titanium wire, just attached it in my fly wires. Put thread on, a few wraps just to secure it. And I need some kind of a tail on this fly, so I'll take some slappen feathers. I have a bunch here, just pre-prepared.
You can hold them up for. Yeah.
I like to take my.
The other ways.
You have to point. This way.
Yeah. Sorry, it's because everything is reversed in order to make it look correct. And
your left is my. Right. And
it's difficult. I'm not drinking enough beer, I think.
Cheers on
that. I don't have any more already, so I'm just gonna pour myself some more.
You got the small glass as well.
Yeah. Mine is smaller than yours, I'm sure.
Well, as I said, I like to prepare my materials when I tie. So when I buy a piece of
that's a bit different from what I do.
I love slappen feathers. Super soft, super long, and they've got some fantastic qualities. When I buy a bag of slappen feathers, I often take them out and I remove the very bad feathers and all the fluffy materials, loose fluffy materials. I take it away as well. And then I take some steaming water, boiling water, and just move the feathers all around it. It kind of like stretches the feathers out to the natural shapes, and that's
a good way
to. I like to do that.
Yeah.
So you can even buy a piece of feathers that looks very crabby, but still the feathers is often very very good quality. It just needs some tender loving care.
I love it.
Yeah. So
and steam does that. It's really nice. If you have feathers that are mangled or broken or in any way, if you hold them in the steam from just a basic water boiler, water cooker, then they revitalize.
Yeah, it's fantastic to see. So I used to do that. So I've taken these are loose feathers where I've stripped the fluffy fibers away. So I'm gonna use 4 of those.
You came prepared.
Yeah, I always do.
Nice. You're more prepared than I am.
Yeah, but you can just pick some new materials.
Yeah.
I have to bring it all.
And I probably would have been more prepared if I didn't have to spend 2 hours getting the thing to work at all.
Yeah.
It was a close call this time. It really was. I was really annoyed, and with 15 minutes to go, our upstairs neighbors started to drill in the concrete So I had to go up there as well and tell him to knock it off, because we had to do this thing. So yeah, it was yeah. But everything is working. I'm really, really happy about that.
Yeah.
I had my doubts earlier.
I'm just searching for the perfect feathers.
There's
difficult.
one guy who's asking if the trick with the feathers works with Flashaboo as well. With the steam, I don't think it does.
No, not Flashaboo.
No.
But the feathers, if you take an ostrich feather, and you'll see, just slowly move it over the steam, you will see how it kind of like opens up. It's fantastic.
Holger Lackman asks if it is true that the Ahrex hooks also attract women.
You know.
And Stefan, regarding the delay, there is a delay, and it's not something that can be helped. It's configured to be the least delay possible. But there will be a delay from when we record and when we respond to when it's actually being broadcast on YouTube. So I think it's about 10 seconds or something like that, maybe 15. But it's not something that can be helped. I'm sorry to say. Yeah, the size matters, Holger. The size matters.
Absolutely.
The 6.0 is better than the 2.0.
Oh yeah. Well, the tail for this fly, I'll be using 4 slapping feathers, and I take them back to back, so you kind of like get this V shape, and I don't want them to be too long, so I'll just trim off the pieces that I don't want to use. So I get a small...
If you can hold it a bit more to the camera. Yeah, that's perfect.
And tie them on top. See, like this.
This is really nice beer also.
Yeah.
It's an ecological red Christmas, the beer is called, from Skanderborg. Tastes really, really good.
Fantastic.
If you don't hurry, I'm gonna drink it all.
I still got the biggest glass, you know.
Yeah, that's the advantage of being the one who's not tying. I think we have one more, to be honest.
Yeah. And I taken 2 smaller, put them on the side as well.
We have, if you wouldn't mind, then please comment in the commentary where you're from. I see we have Russia, have someone Vasha. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but Vasha from Russia and Holger from, he's German, right? Yeah. So please state where you're from in what parts of the world. It's always fun to see where people are from.
So, and I'm gonna tie this one off as well. Like this. A little bit of super glue.
Victor Bucktail, the reason why everything is backwards is because it has to look like we're tying in the right direction. The camera automatically turns it the other way, so we have to do it like this. And yeah, have a beer as well. Just see.
So we got a fishtail like this. I'll just put it in the right angle in a few seconds, like this. And this one will dry as well. Perfect. Now, the hook, it's dried up here. I'm gonna attach this piece on the shank. And both Gunnar and Paul, they use a technique where they kind of like make some, they put some tying thread on this wire shank here and here, so you kind of like secure this piece.
That also kind of works like a weed guard or something,
Absolutely.
doesn't it?
Yes, yes, and that's the idea about it. So you can put. I'm not going to put as much here, but you can actually make this one very long. So you can tie on the pieces all the way up, so you can make these hollow flies with bucktails that are very, very popular, and you can kind of like hide the hook inside of all the materials. But when the fish attacks and bites, you get it. So I'm gonna...
Oh, we have Holland and Sweden and Germany and Ireland and Mols.
Fantastic. I know who that is. You do as well.
Mols is definitely a country in its own right. Definitely. I know, yeah. I've worked there. I was a math and biology teacher on Mols.
And I guess one of them is one of your own.
You know this guy. He's called Martin Hedegaard. You probably know that guy.
And together with his son Jacob. They're watching as well.
Holger is asking how important the rattle is.
I don't know if you can hear this one.
I can hear it.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had days where I had a very rough. A couple of times I've had a very rough day, and then I had a fly that I made and still do. That I dubbed Black Hope, and it's one of the only flies that had a rattle, but it was also slightly smaller than what I normally fish with. But whenever things were, conditions were really tough, and I didn't catch anything, I would change to that one, and that could really save the day. But I don't know if it was only the rattle or it was also that this fly was smaller than my average pike flies. That probably also figured into the equation. But for sure, I would not tie that fly without the rattle.
No.
So I think there is a reason why so many of the big hard lures and soft lures as well have the rattles.
Yeah.
I don't think it's an add-on that they would. I don't think it's just a publicity stunt or something to hype about. I think it actually can have a positive effect, definitely.
Yeah. I've been fishing with flies, big flies like this. You can hear it. And I've been fishing in my local streams and just letting my fly very, very slowly retrieve. And sometimes when I let it drop down and start again, I can hear this small above the water. So I absolutely think that sometimes it works. It might as well frighten the fish in some other times, but well, then it happens. But I think at some places, in some days, it's the thing that kind of like.
I think so too. I think the rattles can definitely have some kind of impact on any given day.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna put the fly or the hook in the vise. Open it up a little bit more. There. And I'm gonna measure out. Place like here. I'm gonna tie it at this point. So I'm gonna make a small tying bulb right here and a tying bulb right here. So first of all, I'm gonna take this piece, and I've prepared some very, very beautiful orange thread. It looks a little bit strange, but I'm gonna explain it.
We have one from Brazil as well. Hello to Brazil and to Aalborg and to Himmerland as well. Hello, Heidi.
So you see, I put a little bit of tying thread on this whole bulb here, and I'm gonna make a new one at this point. I'm gonna give it some glue just in a few seconds.
That's a good point, Stefan. Of course, if the waters you're fishing have a really high pressure from anglers, and all of them have really loud lures, then probably that will have an impact as to the silent lures being the best. But it's the same thing if you're fishing in highly fished waters and everyone is fishing with really big, really shiny flies. Then of course the more subtle and smaller flies will perform better. So yeah, of course there are things like that to take into consideration. Dennis, I'm glad to hear that. It's nice to know that my flies also catches pike when it's not me that are throwing them. So I'm happy to hear you got a good pike on one of my flies. Thank you for that. Yeah, definitely, Holger. Definitely, Holger is just saying that if you do not want the rattle, it's fairly easy to simply just remove it.
Yeah. Just cut away the thread and remove it. But it gives a little bit of weight for the fly to fish upside down.
Yeah.
I've been fishing with this one, and every single time when I retrieve the fly, I can see the blue on top of it, so I know that it's moving just like this in the water. Otherwise, it might flip over and turn a little bit around. The hook itself has quite the thickness of the hook makes a lot of weight itself, but combined with the rattle, it kind of like it's always upside down.
I thought of instead of having the rattle there, then basically just having the 2 points of tying thread that you have there, and just have 2 beats.
Yeah.
Because the 2 beats will make a lot of noise also.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, and they will probably add more weight. So I don't know. It's something I'm gonna try to do a lot of things with that hook.
Yeah.
Again, I saw some great YouTube videos with Gunnar today that really was an eye.
He makes the same system like this one, but mainly he uses monofilament, and he puts a shank in, so you can kind of like have some movements at this part as well.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of ideas and a lot of new ways to tie this fly or this hook. So that's just the fun part about it. But I prepared this one. I made the tail. I made these 2 pieces, and I'm gonna attach it on the hook here.
I'm gonna refill your glass, Søren.
Oh yeah.
I feel bad about going for my 3rd round. The glasses are small. It's still the same beer, everyone. It's still the same beer.
Got flip it over here. So this is the idea about it. So you kind of like put my tying piece here, put the wire on, and I have it like this. You can move it this way, but still some kind of a weed guard.
Oh yeah, Dennis, I do recall you. I recall you sent me 2 pictures of some, if I recall correctly, of some enormous, just massive pikes. I was really in awe. How big is the hook? This is it's a 4.0, right?
This is a 4.0, yeah.
Yeah, the 6.0 is even bigger. I'm gonna tie on the 6.0 because I want to catch the big fish.
I have a 6.0 for you guys to compare it, and I have a 2.0 here.
You'll have to. I'll just change the angle so you can. If you have them about here. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'll just change the focus a bit further up. You can't see that. You cannot see that. So that's the 2.0 and the 6.0, right?
That's 2.0 and 6.0.
And the 4.0 is in between those two.
And the 4.0.
But the 6.0 is really big. The 6.0 is
try if I could.
Yeah, I don't think that works, but
one of them here, but you can see the 6.0 is.
I just have to refocus that. 1 second.
something like that.
I think the 2.0 is fine for pike as well, and the 4.0.
Yeah.
I've tied some on the 6.0, but I think probably the 4.0 is gonna be my main. I have to change the camera a bit, I think, or otherwise the fly will not be visible as much with the.
The 6.0 is a very, very big hook.
Yeah, it
Very
really
big
is.
hook.
It really is. You can if you attach it to a branch, you have kind of like a gaff for the salmon or the sea trout.
And those of you who know our packs of hooks, this is the 6.0, and it's quite filled up. 8 hooks in this bag, and I don't think I could squeeze the 9th hook down.
You should know.
I should know. I packed a lot of those.
I'm not sure what ENH is, Kjell Jacobs. Best way for the E. I don't know what that is. Maybe a typo. Yeah. Søren is famously known for his sharp ears.
So I'm gonna tie the wire piece down. I just attached the thread at the piece of the wire or the hook shank up against the hook eye. I'm just gonna very carefully turn the thread around the point of the wire where I cut it off. It can be quite sharp there, but it seems like it works this time. So
someone is stating that you could attach the tail in a fast snatch.
Yeah.
Then you could replace it or even swap it for something else or something.
Great idea.
Yeah, the possibilities are endless.
You can make different kind of tails, rubber tails or whatever, flash and put it on. It's a great idea. And again, this fly, if the tail is being damaged, I can replace that one without having to tie a new fly. I can replace the rattle, and the piece up here is actually where I tie my fly. So it's a very small area, and with a lot of super glue attached, the fly it's not impossible to break, but we have to make it as difficult for the pikes as possible because they're route to the flies.
Yeah. They will mangle stuff.
Yeah. This fly is, I use quite few materials for this one. Bucktail, some flash, and some whiting spay feathers. Spay feathers originally known for the Danish coastal flies, the pedigrees, the Öland spay shrimp, shrimp patterns with these long fibers, super moving fibers. But I'm gonna use the feathers in another way. Instead of using them as a haggle, I use them as whole feathers, and it gives the fly some super movement. You see it like this. When I fish my local stream, I fish in very, very calm water, very shallow water, so every movement is very important for the fly, and this is what I'm going for. But first of all, I'm gonna put some flash on, and I use some matte silver flashaboo.
Yeah, that's a nice color.
Yeah. Again, it's a very clear water river I fish the pikes in, so I don't want the fly to it doesn't have to look like a Christmas tree.
No. And it still shines a bit, that one, but it's just matted, so
yeah, it doesn't
reflect as much light, but it still gives a great effect.
Yeah. And I used to squeeze a little bit about it,
pull it out so it's uneven in length.
So it doesn't have to be. It looks like it had been cut off. Tied in the middle and flip it backwards, side down, like this. I'm gonna put some white bucktails on.
You can show it. You can show it off.
No, it's just a crappy piece of bucktail.
It's the biggest piece I freaking ever saw. I haven't ever seen anything like it, and I've handled in my time. I've seen some bucktail, but it's a behemoth.
Just a small piece of bucktail.
It's absolutely mad, that piece. Yeah, that's nice
more,
as well.
Yeah,
but that's
more.
More regular.
Yeah.
That other one it must have been for some kind of mutant, I think, or something like that. I've never seen anything like it. It's bigger than the spade cape.
Yeah, that's a good piece. And I'll make sure I have it on my way back home.
Yeah. Yeah, Stefan, we need more beer money, definitely. Go buy some hooks.
As I said, I take a big piece of bucktail, and I try to keep it on top of my shank, not all the way around. I use a very strong tying thread, so I can.
Is that a GSP?
Yeah. 140.
Oh. The UTC one.
Yeah. Can really put some tension on that one.
Yeah. A thing I noticed when I tied my first flies on that hook is you snag your fingers quite a lot.
Yeah. Sharp hook.
Yeah, you should I started not dulling it, but putting something on the tip because maybe it's just me that's clumsy, but I accidentally hooked myself 3 times or so.
I'm clumsy as well.
I have a bandage if you need one.
I'll just take some beer.
Oh, I need to change camera angle.
It always works. Like this. And then I take my whiting.
I'm just going to switch back.
Whiting cape. White one here. And I'm going to use some of the big feathers on top. Feathers I'm not going to use at my coastal flies. And I'm gonna use 4.
I used a lot of those also from my spay capes for when I went fishing for Dorado in Argentina, because I really think, of course, it's expensive to buy a full whiting spay cape just to tie pike flies. But many of us have spay capes where we've used up all the smaller feathers for shrimp, and then those feathers out there hold it up for the camera, please, are just freaking awesome to tie in these pike flies. They look absolutely astounding in the water, and they're quite durable as well.
Yeah.
They can last a lot of pikes.
I know a very good Swedish fly fisher, coastal fly fisher, just in general. He catches fish all over and all the time. It's amazing, and he uses these feathers in this one, and that's where I saw it the first time.
You could probably also take just one of those and then an olive one, and then you will have a pretty awesome sand eel.
Yeah. And Peter Alexandersen, a lot of Danes know him because he's been on the Danish fishing series, Sea Trout Battle.
Yeah,
where he was on fire in every episode. Caught the biggest fish and the most, and he does that every time. Practical fisherman, very skilled, and a very good guy.
Metal madness regarding the size of rod for pike. Then I have 2 9-weights. And normally when I go pike fishing, I have both of them loaded, one with, for instance, a floating and an intermediate, or floating and sinking line, and then I swap between them depending on the water depth or how I want to fish the flies. So a 9-weight is really good for casting with the biggest flies, but it all depends on fly design. You can. I have a friend who fishes pikes with a 4-weight. He just ties only very simple flies that's composed of purely flesh, and those flies are easy to cast. But I would say, for the general pike fishing, an 8-weight, if you have one like that, would be really good. But if you're only going for pike, then a 9-weight is a good way to go. And you can get a fairly cheap, really awesome 9-weight. TFO makes a really awesome pike rod that's called Asox. That is really good and fairly inexpensive, and it just casts these big behemoths so well. So yeah.
And most of my pike fishing is close distance, so I don't need to cast very long. So I can kind of like use very big flies without having
scaling up.
Without the long casts. I often just drop the fly 10 meters away and just slowly. I focus more on the movement of the fly instead of a long cast, because if you drop a fly like this 25 meters away, it kind of like it ends up in a big pile. Yeah, you don't get the movement of it. So that's what I do. I prepared these 4 hackles like this. So I'm gonna put 2 on each side.
Oh, from Canada as well. He just got a bunch of these of the hooks.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah, good luck, Doug.
So you see, I got these super movement fibers or feathers here. That's, as I said, Peter's idea. He made a fly called Alexandra, I think. Oh, Alexis, and fantastic fly.
Alexandra is a small wet fly with a peacock, and red and peacock.
Yeah, Alexis, called it. I think I'll divide the hook or the tying piece here in 3 parts. So this is the back part. I'll put a middle part, and then at the end the head part. So I'm going to use Bucktail on all 3 parts. The head will be Bucktail only. I just put a bit more super glue on. Take thread up at the middle and make the same tying as I did down here. A little bit more flash, some Bucktail and some feathers.
Good to see you again, Johnny. Nice that you made it back.
A little bit more.
Hello, Edwin. I think you're the second one from Holland. Or maybe there are more, but at least the second one who made a comment.
And you see,
I'll just check if that's the right
drag
angle.
a little bit.
It's the right angle.
So
it's uneven in length.
Yeah. Yes. I put it. Try to place it so it gets flash all the way around this time. Like this. A little bit more of my.
Would that be okay? Sorry.
Yeah.
It's just easier for people to see. I don't know if it's completely in focus. I think there is perfect. And hello to London as well. Hello, Russ. Is Russ pronounced correctly? Roos? I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong.
And once again. And no red this time.
Ah, but you snagged again?
No. Only the first time.
Ah, okay.
Fly tying.
You learn fast. I don't. You forget drinking beer, Søren.
Ah, damn. My thread broke.
You should have bought a Vivos.
Yeah. I think I hit the point at the wire.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, probably.
So.
Okay, Russ, thank you for pointing that out.
And 2 new feathers. A little bit smaller this time, but still too big for my coastal flies. This is a fantastic feather.
It's a bit strange for me to be here on the other side and not actually doing the tying, but it's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. I have time to drink beer. That's also okay.
I just measure it to make it even on both sides.
Let me just check here to see. I probably should swap to that one. I'm interested to hear. Does it work okay with the? I know that some of the angles or some of the cameras, the smaller frame in the top there, in one of the screens is in reverse. But is the style here okay? Does it work? Is the quality okay? And so on. Is it easy to see what's going on and stuff like that? I try to watch them afterwards, but afterwards you can get them in higher quality. So I really would like to know if the thing that I'm mostly interested in is how could we improve on this? Is there something we could do to make this even better? Even better, assuming that it's good now, of course. yeah. Cross our fingers and hope to survive. So please, if you have any suggestions as to how to set this up better, we really, I really would appreciate it. I'm planning to do these every Thursday, and every other Thursday it's going to be in English, and every other Thursday it's going to be in Danish, and I plan to have a guest with me every single time, and hopefully tie 2 flies. But you've spent almost an hour now on that one, Søren, so I don't know. You haven't even had time to drink your beer.
But I'm working on it.
Yeah, no rush. There's no rush. Yeah, you want it in higher in higher quality, Holger, right? The thing is, I tried to set
fly tying or the video.
The video. I'm pretty sure he means the video.
I hope so.
Yeah, I'll try to do some testing. I'll try to do some testing, Holger, with better quality video, but it all puts quite a lot of strain on both the internet connection and everything, because we have several cameras. Ideally, I would like even one more camera, so that I could swap and and see the person who's making all the comments, while the other person is tying, like we did in Danish last Thursday. And it's just something I'll have to test out to see exactly what the limit is. And today I tried to jack up the quality, and I think perhaps that was what went wrong with the system not being able to cope. But definitely it's something to work on, and probably I'll have to get a better internet connection, get some fiber, because if I get fiber, I could easily stream in the best of qualities, and that would be ideal, of course. That would of course be ideal. Hello, Victor from Rhode Island, and hello, Kroon from. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. But from The Hague in Holland. And of course, to all of you out there, Merry Christmas. If you, yeah, if I didn't say that already.
So I just come to this last part of it. I'm gonna make the head of the fly. I just put a little bit of flesh on top of it, and I'm gonna make, if any of you know the Thunder Creek style, where you put the bucktail this way and just bend it backwards and make the head. I'm gonna try to make the same thing. I'm gonna make it white below and blue on top to get this,
the head there.
Yeah, shaped like this. So I'm taking some white bucktail. I just cut a piece of and prepared a little bit, removed all the fuzzy and all the short fibers down. And I'm gonna put it underneath, tie it in, and again try to place it only below the hook shank. It's gonna look a little bit strange, but no problem when I'm making it finish.
In English, you would say the. Oh, no, that's no. You wouldn't. I'm not gonna go there. That was a bit too.
I'll trim some of the off down here. Okay. And I'm gonna make the same thing on top of it with blue bucktails. That's just because I could imagine that a totally white fly would be awesome, but it just looks so boring in the box. So I need to add a little bit of color on the fly.
Ah, yeah, Heidi, definitely. But it depends on exactly how you're setting up the camera. I can probably fix that. I can probably fix that. Oh, sorry. Let me just see if I can do something about this. Just gonna center it a bit more. There we go, like that.
So you see, I have my fly almost complete here, but all the bucktails is pointing this way. So I'm gonna use my finger, and I'm gonna try to separate the blue from the whites. This way. Trying to keep the blue on top and the white underneath. I have my thread hanging down just a few millimeters back from the hook, or the hook eye, and I'm just using my fingers just to squeeze focus down, so I get a nice shape. That's a good thing about sitting with the camera. I can actually look at the head, and it looks fairly good separated on the other side.
Oh, you're gonna tie on top of it?
Yeah. Like this. And the fly's finished.
Yeah, you need some glue and stuff, right?
Yeah, just, but damn. Once again.
Yeah, it's not a proper video unless you make some mistakes. Yeah. I try to make as many mistakes as possible whenever I do fly tying videos. Use ups as what? Use ups. Any you can do everything you want.
Open broadcast system. OBS.
Ah. Someone called Feathers and Fins are saying hello to you, Søren, and tells that and says that you usually won the annual fly tying competition in Skalsødalens fly fishing club or fishing club.
Yeah. a few years ago.
Fly fishing the Ozarks. The Ozarks. I think I said that correctly. You can watch it after as well. But we have we have one more fly to tie after this one. So I think we're gonna do that as well. I'm gonna ask if when Søren is done there, are you up for watching a bit more? So I'll try to do mine faster than his, or we can save mine for another day. What do you think? Should we continue, or should we wait for another day? There's a lot of people here. Hello, Leah from Argentina. Nice. There's people from all over. It's really nice.
Fantastic.
Okay, Jan, I didn't know about that. I didn't know what OBS is, and I still don't. But maybe we could, yeah, maybe I could look into that. They want more. They want more. I take that as an encouragement. Is that how you say it? I don't know. I'll keep on. I'll tie a black one for you as well.
A little bit faster.
Yeah, I tend to do that.
Yeah. I'll be making
you
the
don't
head
have
of the
to.
fly
You
now.
don't have to rush Søren in any way.
No, I don't. So I just put a little bit of UV resin on, just to shape the head a little bit. And of course, it needs eyes. It needs to see where it's swimming, this fly. And these eyes are zombie eyes. Sounds awesome.
Of course they are. Pillaged from the average zombie. There is a booming market in that sort of thing.
And it's pretty straight now.
Pretty good.
And I'll just add this UV resin in small bits to kind of like shape the head and make sure that the eyes are placed correctly. And now they're placed perfectly. And now I'm gonna build up the head just to make it look great. Again, trying not to put as much super glue or UV resin on that the fly will have a super heavy head, but still enough to make it have this jig effect when retrieving the fly. That's important.
Yeah, definitely, Russ. That would be nice, but then we would have to do the live stream here on the bank of a river or on the bank of a lake. That would be cool as well.
And pretty close, or cold at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, but as long as we have, if we just had beer, then that would probably be fine.
Yeah. And an ice grill.
Says the the man who didn't go fishing today because it was raining. Yeah, it doesn't matter as long as you have beer. But you know, I kind of proved it completely the opposite was the case today. So, there was a lot of work to be done as well. I was looking for.
And making a head with UV resin is fantastic because you can just sit down and wait and use your needle just to place the glue the right places, and when you think, well, it's perfectly now, then just secure it with some light.
Is that light? Is that enough? Are you happy with that light?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
doesn't stick. It's perfect.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
perfect.
Yeah. So this is the.
I just thought I had one of those at one point and swapped it for another one, but maybe it was just mine that was.
Just fresh batteries.
Yeah.
Everything works.
Yeah, probably.
So this is my.
But that one is
pattern.
That one is bigger than this one.
Yeah.
But that's okay. I like them bigger. Yeah.
The bucktail was bigger this time.
It's just insane, that bucktail.
I've been fishing with this one, so it kind of like collapsed the materials a little bit.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
So this one has been in the water.
Okay.
Sadly, no fish, but the movement of the fly was fantastic.
Yeah.
Upside down all the way. I actually threw it right into the leaves and branches on the bottom of the lake, and it just peeled off perfectly.
Cool.
So the hook is made just as it should be. The hook designers behind that one has been doing a fantastic job. I was just the one drawing the hook.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the ideas came from Paul Monaghan and Gunnar. Big shout out to them.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Well, it looks really, really good, Søren.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I think we'll just take 5 minutes, and I have to swap a bit of settings in order to set up because the next fly is gonna be really, really dark. So I have to change some things with the camera. But back in 3 or 4 minutes, something like that, then we'll be ready for the next one. Yeah. I'll just start setting up. Thank you, Søren. Thank you very much. Nicely done, nicely done. And you know, of course, you can't take that fly home with you. That's for me. Of course, that's kind of implied in the invitation.
Yeah, but the bucktail, I'll bring the bucktail back.
It's the same with the bucktail.
Ah,
if you bring any materials, they're mine.
Okay.
No.
I'll just have to make a fast walk to the shop then.
Yeah, of course. Let me just see how everything is here. I'm just gonna set up here. Try to see how this looks with the lighting and everything. Okay, it can't go any more that way, so we'll have to change it this way instead. Like so. And then I'll just take a quick look at the other one here. And that doesn't work at all. We'll have to move that a bit more. I think that is probably gonna be good. It looks nice and sharp as well. If I could get you to simply adjust on the other side. Yeah. I'll just need my bobbin as well. Where did I put that one? I'll need a black thread for this one. I have one right here. Okay. So if you'll just change to the other camera, you can just it's just with the mouse you click on those two.
Oh, fancy.
Yeah. And if you move the screen a bit to the side, you can see the commentary up there. Sorry. No, just move the full frame, like that. Yeah. So you can swap between the two different settings there, and yes. If just answer verbally or whatever. You can also write a commentary if you like. So everyone, thank you to Søren for making the really nice first one. I'm gonna tie a black one now, and this is gonna be one of the patterns that this is one of the patterns that I've caught the most pikes on of all times in my fishing. But I have converted this fly so it kind of is designed to fit on the new Ahrex hook as well. And I'm really excited to actually I was planning to go fishing with this today, so I would have had some really nice fresh pictures of big pikes caught with the hook, but the weather was simply just so horrible, so absolutely horrible. And with Christmas coming up, there was just an insane amount of work to do in the shop. So I decided to skip the fishing today, and instead just basically work, and so this fly in this version has not caught any pikes yet, but I'm very certain that it will. I'm gonna start off exactly like Søren did. I'm gonna add a rattle here, and basically the rattle serves two functions, as Søren also said. It's gonna add a keel, but it's also gonna be have the rattle effect. So I'm just gonna take one of these real fast and attach here. So basically just add some. That's gonna go tiresome real quick with the squeaky bobbin. But the thing is to be very careful and apply a lot of pressure, especially to when you're tying down here. And if you really want to make sure that it stays in the same place, you can tie around, all the way underneath here and around the tying thread on your rattle. And as you can see, I pulled all of my tying turns really close knit together, and this will make the fly more durable and make the rattle really fast and secure in its place, like so. I'm gonna take some Sabagab. Søren, you should get one of these. I'm gonna find one for you. You should get one of these for your super glue, because it will make your super glue last a lot longer.
Before the accident happens.
Yeah. I can't promise you that I'm not gonna tip yours over in a second.
But will you take this one and I'll take this one?
Yeah, but this one has been. Yeah. It's okay. It's okay. So let's just. Can you see if what camera angle is on there? Yeah, swap to the other one, please.
Yeah.
So as you can see, I've now attached the rattle, and I did some cross turns all the way around there. And instead of having that really long, just gonna fix this 1 second. If you grease your bobbin here with your, I'm just adding some nose grease to this. I know that's how that sounds, but you see, now it's not squeaky anymore. It really works. An old trick some guy once told me. So just add a bit of tying thread here to the shank, so it's covered, and all my materials will be fast and secure. And for this, in order to make this really swim, I'm gonna take some ostrich. If you could swap the camera, Søren.
Yeah.
Ostrich is really nice, and I have some really selective, really big ones for pike flies. Unfortunately, I only have these in black and in chartreuse, but those two colors are really good. So these are called XL Select ostrich, and ostrich is really nice because it's so alive in the water, but it's still quite durable. So I'm gonna take a bundle of this ostrich here, and I'm gonna tie that as the actual swimming tail of this, as the first thing that's gonna cover my hook point. I didn't get all of them, I see. I must have cut that off incorrectly. Just gonna add the last of them there. There we go. And this is going to have a really nice movement in the water, and it's going to look a lot like the tail. And what I'm very interested in regard to my pike flies is that they have the right tapering, so that they have a long tail that is relatively thin, and then gradually becomes more and more bulky towards the head, which is the way that a fish looks. So the next thing I'm going to add is some bucktail. If there is any questions I should answer, just let me know.
I'll just.
And again, I'm going to take a piece of black bucktail for this one. And the reason why I use the materials in a certain order, because I want the materials to, of course, to I have a reason for adding the materials in the order that I do. I added this to kind of give the center of the fly a very lively tail that's gonna kick in the water. And now I'm gonna use the bucktail because I want the bucktail, because it's gonna spread out. It's gonna keep the rest of the material give it more bulk and more volume in the water. And I want that for the next materials that I'm going to use, which is a big fly fiber and some flesh, some hackles, and then finally I'm going to make the head with a bit more of the ostrich, and then a predator dubbing loop. So just add some bucktail here, and as you can see, this is gonna help keep my fly, the profile of the fly, bigger, like this. And bucktail, as it was also the main theme in your fly, Søren, and it's really awesome. It's probably one of the material, if it's not the most used material for pike flies. I have a lot of bucktail in the shop, and a lot of good quality bucktail. And if you order bucktail in the shop and you need it specifically for pike flies, you can also just write in the commentary that you're going to use this bucktail for pike flies, and we will take care to find you the biggest that we have available. Of course, it's all the bucktail we have is good quality, but as always, there will always be some things that are better than others. Okay, now we're going to take a bundle of big fly fiber in black. This is, if the bucktail is one of my absolute favorite materials, then the big fly fiber comes in on a strong second place, and for a long time it was definitely in the first place. The thing I really like about this is it's very thin and very lively, and then it has this curly part, which makes it ideal for making a bit bulkier fly. So if you add this on top of the bucktail, it will give you kind of like a hollow, really, almost cut myself there, really nice see-through shape, but it's still gonna be bulky and add a lot to the fly. Cutting away all of that, and this is perhaps a bit too long. That's also why I brought out the really long scissors. So I'm just gonna taper that. God damn it! I hit myself again. That's the second time.
I only did once.
Yeah, but I'm gonna do it 3 times. I told you I did that the last time, and I'm gonna do it 3 times again. I can feel it. So, because this is an all black fly, then something that can add kind of a sideline effect or a bit more bling, I'm gonna use something that really stands out. This is flesh abou in opal, and this is probably the most insane flesh there is out there. So if you use this, you gotta be careful of the amount that you use, because this just reflects an insane amount of light. Truly insane amount of light. Just let me know if there's anything I should ask.
Holger has a quite fun story. He showed the nose trick to April Vokey some years ago. She didn't believe in him, but yeah.
It works.
He convinced her.
It works.
He said he had 10 men standing around her when she tried to put the bobbin to her nose. Fantastic.
Yeah. So when you distribute this flash, I try to hold it in my fingers and then pull on the individual fibers here, so it's uneven in length. This gives the best result, because otherwise you'll just have some flesh that will not work very well in different situations and from different currents in the water. And since this is a relatively large fly, I'm going to try to have the flesh to be as long as the actual tail. And this means I will not have much left over up here, but instead of cutting away this leftover flesh up here, I'm basically just going to turn it backwards and then tie it down here. Around now, I should be about 1/2 centimeter from the head, something along those lines. If you find yourself that you have too much room up here before you're actually able to tie the head, you can always just add another bundle of bucktail. Just add another bundle of bucktail to the fly, that doesn't affect the fly in any way other than making the head a bit more bulky. I don't think it's going to be necessary here, but if you find yourself that you are not far enough ahead, or you think your fly is not bulky enough, then basically you can always just add another bundle of bucktail, right?
Always.
For this next part, I'm gonna take some saddle feathers, and saddle feathers are just in my fly tying really for pikes really essential. I use these a lot because they're strong, they're durable, and they look amazing in the water. So for this fly, I'm not gonna use that many. I'm gonna take maybe 4 or 5. That was, how many was that? That was 3. And because these are fairly expensive, because good quality saddle feathers from whiting and or Kirk for that matter, they are just expensive. So you don't need that many to get the effect that you desire. Basically, I'm just gonna try to get these fairly even in length. If I were to make this fly for, let's say, a really nice studio photo or something like that, I would add these feather one by one. But this fly is going to be a fly that goes straight into my fly box, and I'm going to fish with this. So basically, I just try to get them to be between my fingers so they're spread out, and this will also make them spread out on top of the hook here. So they're going to be all the way around on the top side of the hook here, attaching them with a lot of thread. If you want, of course, you can add a lot of super glue on as you go on a fly like this. But because we're using relatively heavy tying thread, then and a lot of it, it's not as crucial. But of course, if you apply lavish amounts of super glue as you tie, you of course will get a stronger fly. So there we go with the hackles. It's coming nicely together. It's a bit difficult to see on the screen there. I think you can see the point here. Then I'm going to take another bundle of the ostrich, which can be used as a substitute as well for the hackles, but in of themselves they also just look really awesome. I just love ostrich. Again, I try to get it between my fingers, so when I put it on the fly, it's going to be easier for me to have it all the way around. Like, yeah, that was perfect. This just it looks like $1,000,000 in the water. And as you can see here, if you look at the fly, it really tapers. It's relatively lightly dressed here, and then gradually it becomes more and more dense. Then we have the big fly fiber, then the flesh, then the tips of the longest feathers, and then as we come up here a bit further in, we have the first piece of the ostrich. Then the bucktail up here is going to make the head bigger, and then the second part of ostrich again makes the profile on this fly taper gradually towards the head, which I think is really crucial because we want this to look like a fish, and it really does do that in the water. Oh, I'm going to cut away all the stunted ends of the ostrich. Now I have my head part here, which is maybe 3 millimeters, and for the last part here, there is quite a lot of options that you can use. But one of the options that I like a lot, because it gives me a lot less to work, is something like this. This is an EP in Ricky Puglisi craft fur string. You can make these yourself by making a dubbing loop from Gunnar does a lot with what's that called? strong fuzz fiber. You can also do it with craft fur, but here the job is done for you, and it's about €10 for 6 of these, and you can use one of these for more than one fly. So basically they're very, very awesome, and some really, really nice colors, and they're just fast and easy to work with. Is this your scissor?
Yeah.
So that's the one I'm going to use for the
Nope.
metal wire. Okay, okay.
You can take the big one.
This one?
No, the big scissor.
Yeah.
Not the small one.
No, I'm going to use the end of this one. Yeah, I know. Probably shouldn't have done that, but I did. Then the tying thread all the way out here. And basically, I'm just going to use this to make a bulky head here. And there is mixed some nice and subtle purple. I think it's angel hair or something like that into this one. So basically, I'm just going to turn this up on the head here. And as I go along, I'm going to pull out the fibers here to make it a nice and bulky head. Let me know if there's anything I should answer, Søren.
Yeah, I think I have it almost under control.
Good.
Almost.
Almost. I think that's going to be the last turn. I'm going to tie this down. And as you can see, I have plenty of the string to spare here. Fold that back. You could have done a marabou hackle as well. That would have looked awesome as well. So I'm just gonna pull out all of these fibers here.
I have Johnny saying that Gun of Brahma is probably using strong fuzzy fiber.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's a nice material. I told you 3 times.
Yeah, but the blood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2 times just beside one another.
Great.
So yeah. Not much. And for this one, before because this fly works really, really well now, but I would like to add a bit more to this one. So I've been playing around with. You could use real jungle feathers, but Pro Sportsfisher makes some really nice fake jungle cock, and these looks good on the fly. They look really, really well on the fly, and they look really, really well in the box. And they are stronger than what you would probably expect for a thing like this. But after your 5th or 6th pike or something like that, these will probably have been eaten. I'm gonna add them though, because I just like how they look on the fly. But the material here is fairly strong. It's fairly durable, but in the long run, these will get eaten by teeth. I think actually the other ones looks better. Where did I put those? Can you pass me those? Yeah. Over there.
We have comments saying that you might put a small piece of plastic tubing on the hook point.
Yeah. I actually did that when I was tying some of these because I was going fishing today.
Yeah.
I secured the tip, but of course I forgot to do that now.
But like Holger says, 3-0 for the Ahrex.
Yeah. Yeah, but he doesn't know what he's in for. Yeah. He's gonna be mangled completely by a lot of teeth soon.
But so. More blood, more scent in the water, more fish.
Yeah.
Raptor Baits asks, what size of thread are you using?
This is a 100 denier, a GPS 100 denier in black.
Yeah.
That's basically the one I use for all my pike flies. The 150 is nice as well. Even the 200 can be used as well. But I think the 100 is really nice for pike flies. A head like this, it's not really good with glue, because there's so much material out here, so you can't really add some ice and some glue to this in any meaningful way that's not going to be completely shredded by the pike. And of course, this fly will fish really well regardless of the Pro Junglecock. I really like this detail. It's something that has been used a lot for the classic. I saw it first for bigger flies like this, for the classic, some of the classic flatwing flies, and I just felt it was really a nice finishing touch. And I've caught quite a lot of pikes with the Pro Junglecock, but as I said, eventually they're gonna fall off, but the fly will fish great still. Just a bit of saber gap here in the front, and well, how long did that take, Søren?
Too long.
Too long.
Yeah.
If you switch to the other camera,
I'll go there. There you go.
You can really see the profile here on the fly. It's fairly bulky in the head, and then it really tapers down. And this fly, of course, I think this is probably more heavy than the one you did, Søren. But it really swims well, this one. And due to the rattle here, it has an added effect, and you can fish this on sinking lines, even very close to the bottom, and that's how I intend to do this.
Yeah,
it's I call it the eel because it's so black, but basically the profile here looks probably more like a roach or something like that. But it really has a lot of movement in the water due to the ostrich and the big fly fiber and the saddle tails.
Yeah, Victor has an idea. He said, "Why don't you use a big fish skull or a profors fish fish head?
You could do that.
You can put some eyes on them
like this.
Yeah.
And I have that on some of these, but I tested that out with I tied some of my beloved high-low flies on the same hook here. This one I think this was the first one I forgot to add the rattle, but on this hook profile here, the fish mask, it just doesn't look right. And what when you have a hook that is this big, and you also have the fairly heavy rattle here, if you add even more weight with the fish mask, it's gonna be a lot heavier to cast in the wind. So you could do that, but this hook here, the size 6.0, with the rattle, with the two rattles in there, is already a quite heavy fly. So if you added the fish mask to this fly design, it would look pretty good with the eyes, but it would be really heavy to cast. So I thought about that, but decided that this would be better for this fly, at least for this particular pattern, at least.
Yeah, perfect.
So I actually did think about that. If I look a lot to the side, it's just because I try to follow the commentaries and stuff like that. But as I said, this is another version of the black pike fly that is the pike fly that I've caught. Well, this and then of course the high-low is the two pike flies that I've caught absolutely the most fish on. In recent years, the black one has been the best, but in the earlier days of my pike fly fishing, this was the fly I fished with about 90% of the time. But I must say I've changed more and more and fish more and more with this all black one, because for some reason all black is just it just slays. It just slays. So, Søren.
Yeah, perfect.
I was thinking that you could come join me over here, and then we could maybe basically say bye for now, if that's okay. I'll just turn this over here. Oh, you're out of beer, Søren. Did you drink the rest of it?
You as well. Well, we can have a new one then.
Well, Raptor Baits, the Chemco, the Chemco bobbin is It's not a bobbin that I've been using a lot.
This one.
Yeah, no, this one is not the magnetic one.
Oh, the magnetic.
This one is really awesome, and I use this a lot. This is the one that's not magnetic. The magnetic one is, I hear some people who really enjoy it and really love it, but for me it's just there's too much. You have to adjust it too much, and there's too much, different settings and stuff like that. Basically, I really like and enjoy a bobbin that's basically just a bobbin. It a good design and a nicely finish. A nice finish is nice, but but you could probably use it for pike, but I don't own that bobbin, and I'm not going to. I'm not saying that it's not a good bobbin. It's just some things are just not for me, but luckily it's a lot of other people are happy with it. Smash the thumbs up button. Yeah, of course. If you like the video, please leave a comment. One more. If you have some recommendations for things we can do better, then please add them as well.
Plastic on the hook point.
Yeah,
perhaps.
yeah, plastic on the hook
It might
point.
be a good point there.
Yeah. Oh, the flies in your head. I'm sorry about that, Søren. Otherwise, Søren.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely
We have washed our hands and all that stuff, so we can shake hands. We're a bit close as well just now, but anything for the audience.
We'll have some more beer then.
Yeah,
Kill some of it.
probably.
Yeah.
Probably. Thank you a lot for watching. On my YouTube channel, there is a playlist where you can see all the live streams that all the upcoming live streams. It's just on the front page of Nordic Anglers on the Nordic Anglers YouTube. It's one of the first, if you scroll down, one of the first playlist there where you can see all the upcoming live stream. We're gonna do these every second Thursday until the end of March, I think, maybe perhaps as long as in the beginning of April. So every other Thursday we're gonna make a YouTube live stream like this one in English, and every other Thursday it's gonna be in Danish. So thank you for joining.
Absolutely, a pleasure.
Søren, and thank you all out there, all of you, for watching.
And a Merry Christmas to you.
Yeah, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Stay safe.
Yeah.
Happy time.
Yeah. Stay safe and stay well. We're signing off now. Thank you.
Bye-bye.